Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge of financial freedom. Hold on, let me get my light turned on real quick. I was so busy messing with my mic this morning that I totally forgot about my lights. Still been having some problems with that, and I'm not sure what's going on. So I hope I sound all right this morning. All right, I don't have any news. I was going to go over yesterday's FOMC. There wasn't much to talk about. We got that no rate change, and there wasn't anything to really positive said by Jerome Powell to hold up the markets, but we did get a little bit of a pump last night, and we're looking like we're going to grab most of that topside liquidity this morning. We'll kind of have to see if we get that continuation or if we kind of start stalling out here. But let me get swapped over towards that heat map, and we'll get you prepped for some success today. Let me get that pulled up. And we are seeing a lot of green here in the pre-market so far. We've got Apple sitting up a 1.3 this morning. We've got Nvidia sitting up a 1.85. We've got Berkshire Hathaway up 0.92. We've got Amazon up 1.92. Eli Lilly sitting in the red, down 1.83%. We've got ExxonMobil up 0.76. We've got Tesla sitting up 1.59 this morning. We've got P&G sitting in that neutral range, up 0.13. We've got Microsoft sitting up 0.84 off of a very, very neutral close. Google sitting down 7.51 on the daily. It is looking towards the upside this morning, though, up 2.26. And we've got Meta up 1.62, and in the pre-market this morning, it is sitting up at 2.16. Let me get swapped over to the crypto side of things because it is no different there. A lot of green bubbles here on this daily in that top 25. Let me scroll it on down because we've got quite a bit of green here on the daily and the hourly. We are seeing some red stepping on in here. Bitcoin sitting up 2.7. We've got Ethereum up 4.9. We've got XRP up 2.9%. We've got BNB up 1.6. Solana up 3.7. We've got Dogecoin up 5.4%. Cardano sitting up 4.3. Got right back to that 70-cent range that we've been hoping for. We've got Tron Coin up 2%. SWI up a whopping 8.8%, continuing to rip to the upside on that one. We've got Chainlink up 5.9. We've got Avalanche up 5.4. Stellar Lumens up 3.9. Bitcoin Cash making big moves over there, 10.6% to the upside, taking a position on that market cap as well from way down here at 19 all the way up to number 15, has moved 4 spots so far. We've got Leo token sitting up 0.9%. We've got Shiba Inu up 4.2%. We've got TON down 2 positions from 17 all the way down to 19, up 4.9. And we've got Hyperliquid up 1.3. Let's hop over to those fear and greeds because you know the direction they're all heading. They're heading towards that greed. Stock market up 1 more point, sitting in greed. We've got Crypto down 2 points, still sitting in greed though. We've got quite a bit of liquidity to the top side of us still. This is that 3-month chart and sitting at that $100,000 range. It was quite a broad range and we've left just a little bit of that open there. Let's zoom it on in. Take a look at that 24-hour chart. See what we might be going for. And there is quite a bit of downside liquidity here. This is not the move that I would expect first. We have talked about that $99,000 grab. That was all of this right here. Saw some nice wick in action and that nice sideways movement afterwards before we really continued on to the upside. We're starting to see some at 100,500. That'd be that first little grab I would look for the morning. We also have it starting to pile up towards the downside now. We have talked about 93,300 and that's where most of this liquidity is starting to pile up. So we'll kind of have to see if we can maintain some of these key levels that we've talked about over and over. Maybe make a new range here instead of trading so far down in those 85 to 87 range that we were trading on most of last month. We do have quite a bit of liquidity that has been grabbed on these higher term time frames. This is all the liquidity we were talking about the other day. We didn't see that pop yesterday morning. We saw it this morning. So nice liquidity grab for the morning. Let's hop over to the chats because I see quite a bit of people in here. We got JR saying, is it just me or does this keep getting earlier and earlier? Nope. It's been the same time for about a month and a half now. I think this will be the first week I've been able to make it through the whole thing. These 13-hour days kind of murder me. We've got Jesse Gluck in here saying good morning. Good morning, good morning to you, sir. We've got Crypto Billy in here dropping those good mornings. Good morning, good morning. We've got Al Jr. Darren does things in here as well. Good morning to both of you. Hope you're having a great day so far. We've got Moho saying morning, ladies and gents. Good morning to you, Moho. Hope you're having a great day. And we've got L Jones in here. I'm still going to say L Jones, even though you changed it to LJ, because I remember when your name was L Jones. Let's hop over to that economic calendar. We do have a little bit of data coming out this morning, and that's going to be the Bank of England's interest rate decision. Yes, you are on tomorrow, Crypto Billy. I will message you after the show and we'll get some things set up because I want to talk to you about building on Cardano, and I know you've got quite a bit more to talk about. I'm sure Bitcoin will steal some of that limelight once we get into things and we see exactly where that Bitcoin price action is sending us. We do have that Bank of England's interest rate decision this morning, looking like they're going to be cutting their rates. They have been ahead of us in the rate cutting cycle. They did have a giant pause period, the same that we're sitting in right now. We'll kind of have to see if they're actually going to cut those rates. Consensus is that they will be from 4.5% to 4.25%. Quite interesting because that's where we're sitting right now, that 4.5%, and they paused for quite a while. So finally getting around to this next rate cut. We do have a little bit of some data coming out of the US today as well. That will be that 8:30 time frame. We'll be getting initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims, looking like there's a forecast on the correction from continuing jobless claims, looking like that'll be corrected to the downside. We'll kind of have to see if that comes out to the downside. I don't think it does, Initial jobless claims looking to be a little bit of a slowdown there. We'll really have to see if there is that slowdown. We've got farm productivity quarter over quarter looking to be a massive decrease there. We also have unit labor costs, something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. They do pay attention to those jobless claims because that's a big indicator the Fed watches for. But we're looking like things are going up in price. We've got that unit labor cost going from 2.2% to 5.1%, a massive increase on that. Definitely the wrong direction on what you want to be seeing there. Scroll it on down, and we've got some data coming out of Japan as well. Household spending month over month, from massive decrease from 3.5% to forecasted to be negative 0.5%. Looking like they're also seeing those inflation pressures stepping on in. We also see that household spending year over year, though, heading in the right direction. So just a little bit of a wrong direction on that month over month. But overall, Japan might be heading in that right direction. We do have those tariffs that did play a little bit of havoc on their economy before they got paused. So I will be paying attention to that data drop at 7:30 Eastern time. And we also get import-exports from China at 11 p.m. Eastern time. I will be paying attention to that one, seeing what direction things are heading for them, especially since, those tariffs have kind of smacked them around a little bit. I would like to see what kind of balance they are on their imports versus their exports, especially when our imports versus exports were at such drastic levels. And we'll be watching that going forward. I have seen quite a bit of news articles about how China is slowing down their shipping. You are going to see those first ships landing in the U.S. with those 145% tariff goods on their boats. That is coming quite soon. I believe tomorrow will be the first day you really see some of those goods with that 145% tariff on top of them. Let's hop over to that Bitcoin chart. If anyone has any alt requests or any assets they'd like me to take a look at, we'll definitely save that for the end of the show. I was going to take a look at Bitcoin, definitely going to be taking a look at gold and the Dixie as well. I have been seeing some things there. We might take a look at that US JPY pair, because I've talked about that quite a bit, and it's been a little bit since we've looked at that. So we do have the daily getting that curvature back towards the upside here on your MACD and your prime oscillator. Money flow continuing to stay green here. This is what we've been wanting to see as we come back up. We do have a bit of a resistance zone at 102,500. Coincidentally, there is some liquidity up there if you zoom it out far enough. I will take a look at EOS, JR. I don't meme like that. So you're going to have to ask OC guy for PopCat. I know he's done PopCat. I don't meme like that. So we will take a look at EOS, because I actually took a little trade on EOS yesterday. So we'll see what kind of continuation it gets, or if it gets that downside correction. If Bitcoin keeps ripping, EOS might really, really rip towards the upside. I'm in shorts. They're all killing me. Today's dreams may be killed. Yeah, we're looking at the possibility of some continuation if we do see this money flow continue to come in. We do have some resistance towards the upside, and that's going to be those first areas we really look at. That 102,500, we do have all of that liquidity that's sitting between us and there. You zoom it on out far enough, we've got quite a bit of liquidity at 103,000 if you look at that 6-month chart. Zoom that on in, take a look at that 4-hour here, and we are seeing that money flow increasing on the 4-hour as well. You are seeing your volume increasing as well, so a lot of buying pressure is stepping on in here. We're really trying to grab all of that top side liquidity. We do have another area above that, and that's that 106,000 mark. There's quite a bit of liquidity there, and that there's quite a bit of resistance there as well. We'll kind of have to see what happens at this 102,500 mark first, though. We do have this 1 hour looking like it is a little bit toppy here, as we are seeing a little bit of a divergence starting to come to call. We do have our money flow maintaining in the green. That is what we will be watching. If that starts heading back down, watch that divergence play out extremely hard. We might build up a few more divergences though, because when Bitcoin rips, it does like to rip, and it will create multiple divergences before those divergences really come back to play. We'll kind of have to see if we can grab all of that top side liquidity that's between here and there, and then have those divergences come to play. Let's zoom that on in. Take a look at that 15-minute, because that 15-minute also looking quite nice here. You do see a bunch of topping signals. You got that peak seeker, but that money flow is amazing. It's maintaining with some strong green, getting that nice curvature back towards the upside as well. That was a terrible drawing. There we go. Getting that nice curvature back towards the upside. Prime oscillator curving on back up. We've got your MACD getting that nice little curve here as well. Waiting to see what this money flow does this morning. We do have a lot of liquidity above us, so if we are going to grab some liquidity, I would look towards that upside first, and then we'll kind of have to see what kind of cool off we get. We do have a bit of an area where we could come back down to where we've seen a lot of rejections from, and that's going to be that 97 about 500 area. I would look for a nice little bouncing action there if we do come down with some strength after grabbing a lot of liquidity up at this $100,000 mark. This is that area we're really watching for first to see what happens. If we can turn that area into some quick support, we might be able to go up and grab that 102,500 that I've been watching for quite a while. That money flow is huge in my trading plan world. VWAP just crossed on the 1 hour with a red dot. I'm in a hold and I trust my TA. If I fudge up, I need to learn, but I can't unsee it. Money flow is in the green, but I don't see the volume on the order books. Yes, the volume is starting to slow down just a little bit here on the 15-minute. Not too unexpected when you start seeing a little bit of this high order buying, which is what you're starting to see a lot of green money flow coming on in here in the 15-minute. Zooming on out, the hourly just starting to really go to the green here. Doesn't mean that you might not see that little bit of correction. Definitely looking to see if we can continue towards that top side liquidity for the morning. I would expect just a little more upside before I start looking at some downside. Just seeing how all of these time frames are looking. Let me see. We do have gold that I've been looking at over and over again. I was cleaning up the charts there. Let me get that back over to current price action, because I said in our Discord that I was waiting for a re-entry point. And I do think that re-entry point comes today. If we continue to see some stocks move towards the upside, I would expect to see gold get a little more of a retracement. I have been looking at about the 50% line on our fib extension towards that 382. So 3,300, about 10 is that area on that 382 on our fib extension, and that's that entry point I'm really shooting for. I did catch a lot of that move towards the upside, and I got out around the golden pocket. I didn't think it was going to keep on running. It really did keep on running, but I'm not too worried because I did have a trend line down here from the highs that we rejected from. Got that nice bounce off of it, caught most of the move. Not too worried about that last little percentage. Make your money, get out, follow your trade plan. And even if you miss out on, say, an extra percent here or there, it's not that big of a deal. You make your money, you follow your plan, and you never go broke taking profits. So I'm waiting for this 382 entry at $3,300 there. If we do maintain this 50% line on my fib extension, which is going to be $3,327, then I will enter here and I will shoot back up towards our resistance areas at 3,430. See what kind of strength we have in that area before we really try to shoot back up towards our all-time high on gold. I will be watching the traditional markets to see if we see that continuation of buying pressure stepping in on your stocks, or if we start seeing a little bit of some sell-off. If we do start seeing a little bit of some sell-off on the stocks, then you might start seeing that gold really get that rip. But with how the pre-market is starting up this morning, I am looking for a little more downside on gold. Let's take a look at the Dixie. Any other alt requests for me? We had EOS there. Let's see. Would love to look at the charts while in a live stream when I'm not at home. Let's see. Spider webs, we call them. Money flow is huge. What is wrong with the viewer to like ratio? Well, I'll hit the like for you there as well, Jesse. Let's see. Crypto Billy, do your own thing. Like I said above, I'm looking for shorts, but nothing to take action on for me, but I'm looking. And I'm most definitely looking for shorts too. I'm just waiting for that exhaustion to start stepping on in. And I think that exhaustion comes in after we get a little more upside. That's just my bias for the morning. I did have that bias yesterday morning where I wanted to see that topside liquidity grabbed before I really stepped into a short. Now that we've cleared out a lot of topside liquidity and are continuing to do so, I am starting to favor some shorts. I'm getting wrecked. It's my trading style. Oh, right there, JR. I know that's a lie. No trade in my book, but we're all different. Yes, if your trade signals have flashed and you have that confluence with your trade style, take your trade. You might be sitting in the red for a little bit, and as long as it plays out in your favor, and your trade signals are all hit with your trading rules, then you take the trade. Make sure you have your stop loss in there. You keep your money safe. So even if it does go against you for a little while, you still end up in the green. I write out trades for multiple days sometimes. You might sit in the red for a little bit, and then it really, really starts going your way. And you're like, okay, well, I was a little worried there for a second, but as long as your trading rules are all hit and you take that trade with confidence, with your stop loss and your protection in there, then you have nothing to worry about. You you aren't going to win all trades. It just is what it is. But as long as your rules are met and you see that your rules are met, then take that trade. Nothing wrong with that. We've got Crypto Billy dropping those hearts in there. What's wrong? Bro's home. Lol, someone saved this guy. Oh no. All right. We are seeing the Dixie get that nice little pop towards the upside there. I saw LTC requested. Let me get that added to the list. All right. We are trying to maintain our golden pocket on the dollar. This is quite interesting as we've seen quite a bit of trade deal talk coming on in, not just with China. We've seen quite a bit of trade deal talk going with some other countries. We're supposed to be having a nice little deal with India coming at the beginning of the summer. So that has led to some nice upside movements here on the dollar. We have maintained this golden pocket quite nicely, but we are seeing a lot of resistance at 100 and about 30 there. There are some Wiccan action above that, but we'll get that new horizontal ray drawn out because there's quite a bit of resistance in this zone. There we go. 137 there. That will be that new resistance area because we weren't respecting that old line there. So we do have a little bit of resistance coming on in here. We're starting to see that on the charts as well. Your volume's still increasing, but it's looking like that volume is starting to be some selling pressure as you do see these wicks being quite large on the upside. We are breaking above that little pullback there, so I would expect some resistance to come on in. This hourly is looking like you need to cool off just a bit. 4 hour looking like you're going to start seeing those topping signals as well coming into play. This daily is just at the point where you might start seeing that continuation towards the upside though. I would look for that short-term cool off if we can get above 137 there. Look for that retest and a continuation move. We'll kind of have to see what happens with some of these other interest rate decisions because we did get Japan last week. We're getting the Bank of England today and looking for that European Union next week, I believe that was. So quite a bit of interest rate decisions, and that might switch things up if we do see that cut with the Bank of England today. Look for that strength in the dollar against that Great British that pound pair. We did get that nice little move towards the upside on the pound the other day with our no interest rate decision, but if they do end up cutting, that will bring some weakness against their dollar there. We're going to take a look at that US JPY pair. I'm going to hop over to EOS and then LTC because we are starting to see some strength stepping on in here with that US dollar JPY pair. We did hit the bottom of our fib retracement that we've had drawn out since last year, and we're now pushing back up towards that platinum pocket. We didn't see that carry trade really unwind as we started stepping below that golden pocket there. So that's quite good to see. We do still have quite a bit of money flowing out here, but you are starting to see that switching up just a bit. Oh, wrong time frame. Take a look at that hourly, and we're seeing that continuation here. We do see a little bit of some exhaustion coming on in here as we see some overbought signals. We are seeing some nice Wiccan action at the top of these candles, and we do have the golden pocket, which is going to be a nice little resistance area. We do need to get above current levels though, really turn that into some support. This was the last area of resistance that we really saw on our way down before we dropped below that platinum pocket. So 45.13 is going to be that first little area I watch for on that US dollar JPY pair. We did have EOS and LTC requested. Any other requests, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll probably take a look at ADA too, because we did talk about ADA yesterday. Sorry about that. We've got LTC. Let me get that one. I know it's on my list here somewhere. There we go. LTC. All right, we got that nice golden pocket bounce on LTC. Let's zoom this on out. Take a look at that 4 hour. See how things are looking at a higher term time frame. We have lurkers, Jesse. Unfortunately, we do all day. Hey, I'm just glad they're here. Even if they're lurking, as long as they're showing up, that's what matters. So good morning to all you lurkers. I hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look, see what we might be looking for LTC, as we are getting that curve back towards the upside on both the MACD, your prime oscillator here, volume increasing, and looking like you're trying to do some battle with our local resistance area at 93.42. Let me get that horizontal rate drawn out there. This will be our first resistance area to really start to watch for. It's 93.5 that we'd start looking for some resistance at. We do have a bit of a zone to the bottom side if we do see a rejection off of that, coming in at 89.40. where we did see some nice strong rejections from. So I'd look to turn that area into some support before we really get that strong push towards the upside. Let me zoom it on in, see what this hourly is looking like. And that hourly showing that rollover there. It is looking like it is maintaining that green here on our prime oscillator. So if we can continue to see positive money flow coming on in, I would look to hold up some of the bottom side there, see what kind of money flow comes on in. We do have a very strong support here at the golden pocket if we drop below 85, about 50 there. So a little bit of a zone to kind of watch for here on LTC for today. Let's see what that 15-minute in the morning might be bringing our way. And that's where we're really seeing a volume dropping off like crazy, kind of the same way that volume has slowed down on Bitcoin. But you notice that a lot of the times in the morning, especially for this America trading time, you do see a little bit of a drop off in that volume as Europe is switching over to America trading hours. We do see that volume drop off before we really wait for that market open. We do have a lot of volatility that steps in closer to that market open, and we normally get our increase in volume there. So if we do have that increase of volume with our money flow maintaining green, I would look for those top side liquidity grabs. Promise you there's a bunch of liquidity sitting above our resistance here. Probably going to have another little liquidity zone. Let's get back to that hourly so we can see that better up here at about 97 to 98. That'd be that next little liquidity area I would look for on LTC. It is right above all the lows from there. All right, let's take a look at EOS. Don't have that on my list, so let me look it on up, and we'll go from a naked chart, because I guess I have done some charting on EOS. I wonder if that was probably from yesterday while I was at work. I'm like, oh, let's take an EOS trade. And it looks like it held up right on all of the areas I was looking for there yesterday. So got that nice strong bounce from 76 cents and continued towards the upside and smashed through all of the levels that I was looking at. I don't know why I didn't stay in the trade. I made my money though. I made my money. I was looking for the top side of our fair value gap. Uh, really was going to get out there at 76 cents. So I caught the trade down here at 71 and I exited when we got that little pullback. And then I didn't look at the chart again, honestly. I don't look at EOS much. I just noticed that it was really pumping. So I thought I'd catch the wave, and I caught the wave. And it looks like you're still seeing some nice green money flow here on the hourly, getting that curvature back towards the upside as volume is going quite crazy here. It is getting that curvature back towards the upside as well. Let's zoom it on out because we were looking at the hourly on LTC. So it's sitting on the hourly here. So we do have the daily looking like that peak seeker is starting to come on in. With that true 7 doesn't mean that you don't get that continuation towards the upside. We do have the 382, which is looking like a bit of a resistance area, but you do have a little bit of some wiggle room above that with all of the Wiccan action we do above the 382 there. 88 cents would be that area I would kind of watch for if we get some continuation to the upside there. About 88.9 on Coinbase. Let's zoom that on in. See what the 4 hour was looking like. We do see the 4 hour getting that curvature here on our prime oscillator. Just switch from green to red. We see some overbought signals flashing. Your money flow looking quite nice though. So money flow looking quite nice on that higher term time frame, kind of looking like your volume is just starting to increase on your higher term time frame there as well. So looking like you might continue to the upside just a little bit there. Take a look at that hourly, see what we're looking at there, getting that MACD cross towards the downside on that indicator line. So looking like you might start seeing that exhaustion stepping in all over again. We did see quite a bit of volatility in this area before we got that nice strong bounce off of 81 cents. That was an area from way back on price action. So nice strong bounce off of there, but we have seen a lot of volatility in this range. Looking to see if we can break above that 382 here in the morning before we really start dropping back down. Our fair value gap would be a nice area to look for some support at. Topside being 79 cents. Let me actually get this fair value gap closed as well. There you go. We are just looking for either the top side or about the midline of our fair value gap there. If we do really pull back there after a massive rip towards the upside, let's get a local fib pulled up. See if we come into play off of that 382, 50% to that'd be about a golden pocket there, golden pocket bounce there. If you do see that midline of our fair value gap come into play, that's going to be about 73 cents. Let's zoom that on in. Take a look at the 15-minute, and that 15-minute also looking a little bit exhausted. We did see that money flow dip into the red here, but is it making its way back into the green? So we'll kind of have to see if our volume is able to maintain and that money flow is able to push back into the green with some buying pressure. 15-minute looking like you might need a bit of a cool off though, especially with how much this is ripped towards the upside. It does get those nice long sideways consolidation periods before it really rips again. We've seen that over and over on EOS, especially when Bitcoin gets some traction. We've seen this one before as Crypto Billy set up there. Where was it? I bet Lifer will have 3,000 a day. Frankie will have 2,000 plus. Just wait for it. Oh yeah, Once Bitcoin really gets those strong moves to the upside, everyone's like, "Oh, what did I miss? Let me watch some shows." It's like you missed it though. You might catch a short or two, but you missed the nice price action because we were all looking for these levels. I've been impressed with these support levels to show so much strength. Tells me this grind is sustainable. Good signs. Let's see. Yep, Jesse was saying it was going to dump for a while. Lol, the crawl back up though. I didn't sell other than some robotic TPs in December. Feel bad for those who sold their Bitcoin thinking it was over so early. I kept mine and I've been buying more. Hey, I repositioned myself. That's all I did. So I was buying all the way up, sold off most of my alts. So that's really what happened there. And then I sold off everything but about 10% of my Bitcoin and then repositioned myself back at the low 80s. Still got more to kind of throw on in there, but I wanted to secure a lot of profits. It's something I haven't done in a lot of cycles. And with what I'm seeing on the alts, I think I made the right choice selling a bunch of those alts. Everyone I know that has stayed in crypto for 8 years are millionaires. That should say enough. 8 years grinding every day, DCAing in BTC. You'll get there, man. Stay with it. I've struggled to. Oh, wrong button there. There we go. There we go. I sold nothing. I stacked more, says Crypto Dad. And that works as well. I wanted to reposition myself from alts into Bitcoin. So I saw a lot of alts were not performing the way that I wanted them to. I sold off Bitcoin and and all of my alts when we were in that above that $100,000 range, and then repositioned myself back at those low 80s. So I'm sitting in the green all over again on money that was losing me money on a bunch of alts. I was not happy with Injective's performance. Was not happy with Near's performance either. Those are some of the alts I was sitting in. I did have a few other alts that I just wasn't happy with. They weren't performing the way I wanted them to, and when things aren't performing the way you want them to, that doesn't mean you keep stacking them. We're like, okay, well, let's just go off of Injective. Injective been in a massive downtrend, dropped to bear market levels, and has not really found support at those bear market levels. I got out way before I ever saw those bear market levels come into play. So definitely glad I repositioned that money into Bitcoin, because guess what's sitting up right now? Bitcoin. You know what's not really sitting up right now? And anything close to the same percentages, my Injective. So I feel like I made the right choice, repositioning myself from those $100,000 prices and buying in at those low 80s. That was my repositioning. A lot of people just buy and they never sell. And that plan works too. It all has to do with your time horizon. I wanted to capture the most money I could, buy it back in, and then reposition myself. That also allowed me to buy some gold, which that's something I've been wanting to do. I sold back in January, and since January, if you take a look at the gold chart, let me scroll it on back. Since January of this year, yeah, gold is up massively. So I was happy with that one too. It was just my plan to reposition. Gold has ripped more than Bitcoin this year, since the beginning of this year. So I was happy with that decision. Everyone's got their own trading plan, and as long as you're to the upside, your trading plan is working for you. keep following that. Don't go off what I say, because my trading plan is very, very different than other people's trading plan, and I trade for safety. I don't degen. That's all fine. I know plenty of degens out there, and I know y'all are making your money, and I'm happy to see that. We just have very different trading plans and trading styles, and there's nothing wrong with either of those trading styles as long as you are growing your capital and protecting your capital. Then that's what matters. We're all doing better, and that's what matters. Thank you for everyone that showed up. It is 5:30 and time to head over towards that morning motivational video. I will see y'all in the chats over there. And make sure to tune in to the rest of the shows on the Piper Academy. We've got that morning market report with Piper and OC. We've got trading with OC in the evenings. That's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we've got markets after dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto. Make sure to tune in to the rest of the shows, and I'll see y'all at the morning motivational video. Make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.